Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's your boy Tom Origins here, and today this is going to have to be the way I show you Rust on console. I'm playing it on the Xbox Series X, as you can see, but it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming, but the pre-order beta has gone live. I've tried to get game clips. I've tried to stream it to Twitch. Double 11 has confirmed that this is playable. You can actually play this with no problems, but for some stupid reason, my Twitch isn't working on my Xbox. It's not letting me actually cover or live stream the game like I want to. So I do have to apologize that I'm filming this on my phone. So please give it a little bit of courtesy. I just wanted to get some gameplay footage out there because I know we've got some people on the channel who have recently joined us, who I'm grateful to have around. You guys are awesome. You're giving the channel a lot of love, and it's a big part of the Rust community, the console Rust community. And you guys have been absolutely killing it lately with the support on the channel, so I didn't want to let you guys down any longer by not giving you the gameplay. I've tried to game clip it, and the clips won't upload to YouTube or my phone. It's being really shady. I don't understand why it's doing this particularly, but I'm trying to get to the bottom of why it's doing it, but I still haven't found anything of good value yet to understand the problems that we're facing with the sort of content creation side of things. When it comes to trying to get content for this game and upload my game clips, I don't know why. I don't know why it's being awkward, but it is, and I don't want to let it prevent me from getting the content out to you guys, because you deserve the content, and I want to give you as much content as possible. And I'm sorry it took me this long, but I'm here now, and I've got this was my last resort, really. Trying to film it off my phone is never the best idea, but it's a decent quality phone, so hopefully the footage isn't too bad. But yeah, I got a lot of new Rust members, Rust console community members joining us recently, and I didn't want to let you guys down or let you go without any footage, just in case some of you guys might not have the pre-order beta, and I wanted to show you guys what you would get if you did get it, or maybe you might watch this footage and actually realize you want to wait until the game comes out fully, so it's up to you. But yeah, this is my base. It's just a basic little starter base. I followed a little tutorial online how to build it. It's kind of simple. I will teach you this in the coming days. It's a kind of simple base to do, but I've spent a long time fortifying everything, upgrading doors and stuff, and making sure everything is up to scratch. It's built in a little secluded part of the map that I really enjoy. And to be fair, as much trouble as this beta has caused people, and the hassle and the stress it's caused people, for every bad thing it caused problems with, and obviously the annoyance of constant having like server issues on PlayStation, I think it was having, but so far on Xbox, even the first time I ever loaded it up, it freezes for like a couple of seconds, like maybe like 1 or 2 seconds, like every now and then. But honestly, I've had a really decent experience with this. It's been a solid pre-order beta. I obviously never played the closed beta, but as the pre-order goes on the Series X, as I can speak of from my personal experience, it's been a really solid beta. I've had much more fun in this than I have been doing Ark and DayZ on the console. I don't have a gaming PC, but I have been into gaming for like over 10 years now, and I've been using my YouTube earnings to save up, and hopefully by my 21st birthday I should have enough money ready to make the purchase and actually be able to pick up a gaming PC to give the channel a little bit of a better sort of edge when it comes to designing content. I picked a nice little secluded area of the forest to come and build my base down in the south. And this guy down the road from me, he's built a house here too. As you can see, he's been doing stuff with like trying to grow and harvest things. He's locked his door with a padlock, which is good. This guy's base was all wooden yesterday. Like, the servers are expansive, and like pretty much they're always live if you didn't know. But yeah, this guy, he built his house quite close to me, and the other day he left his door wide open. So I got a little bit of free loot from him, which is kind of cool. I enjoy it. I think it's good. Oh, someone's put a harvest down here. There we go. Oh, see, that's what I mean. Like, it freezes like this for a little second, and then there you go. So it just drops frames for like a little second, or it lags for a little minute, but then it fixes itself quite quickly. Loads more people have started building bases around my house now. It's kind of weird. I never thought people would get this far out of the map. This guy's really been busy. He's been fortifying the hell out of his base. As you can see, his door is like mine. It's got that little thing, so it's locked. But yeah, this guy's base is pretty sick. The south side of the map is a lot more peaceful, just from my experience alone. But I am going to take his pumpkins, because that's one thing he's not really protected, is crops. So for this trip, when we go to the monument, we're going to take you to the airfield monument. That place is closest, I think, to mine. It's the nicest, biggest monument near my house. So yeah, pretty much. I'd love to this is just gameplay, so I'm just going to literally just show you gameplay, talk to you about my experiences so far, and give you tips and tricks and stuff, and then we're going to do some how-tos and stuff later down the line. That's my house, as you can see. It's got a really stupid roof, but it was an accident. I was building it in the dark, and it kind of went a bit weird, but I accidentally built myself like this little shed, so I can come inside here on the roof, which is kind of funny. But yeah, this game has been, the beta has been really good. For me, I don't know if I've just been lucky or if other people have had similar experiences. I'd like to know in the comments what you guys have been thinking. But for me, it's been pretty decent. It's a really good survival game. I definitely see it's got massive amounts of potential. To give it out of 10 right now, off the top of the, I think I've been in it for about 4 or 5 hours. I've played this for now. If I was going to give it a rating out of 10, it would be a solid 7. At the moment, I'd like to see more potential. I'd like to see a range of different features. It feels a little bit stripped back to what I've seen people play on the PC, but I think that is because obviously PC is far ahead. I think this is like the 2018 version of Rust, which is, for PC people, a bit different. Lots of people have been building in this area, though. A lot of people. But yeah, pretty much how it works is you'll wake up, if you've never played Rust, if you're brand new to it, you'll wake up on a beach, or like you'll wake up somewhere random as a completely basic character. You'll have a rock and a torch, and the first 30 minutes of your gameplay will consist of you dying over and over and over again. But that is natural. That is what's going to happen, I'm afraid. Lots of bases have gotten really fortified in recent times. It's kind of cool. These mushrooms are great for food. So yeah, you'll pretty much wake up. You'll have next to no health. You'll be really weak. You'll have a rock and a torch, and that's it. And you'll have to explore the map and try and find a way of surviving. Animals will attack you. From my experience, every animal apart from a chicken so far has attacked me. And that is obviously going to be a problem if you've never encountered an animal before and it's your first time on Rust. You are going to have a problem. Mining and farming for items is really unique in this game. So as you can see on this rock, there's like a glint, like a little glint effect on this rock. And if I hit with my pickaxe, if I hit that glint on the rock, it mines the rock quicker and it'll get me more resources for mining it. You can just hit the rock over and over again randomly and just ignore the light, but I found if you keep hitting the light over and over again, you'll get the most out of it. And it works exactly the same for a tree. And obviously thicker and thinner trees will take longer. Like how you can see that red X. If I keep following that round, hitting that red X over and over again. It's really weird not having a crosshair though. I found not having a crosshair being really awkward at times. Especially when you're trying to fire like a bow or a gun. I think you get a crosshair if you get a rifle, which I've got one in my base, but as you can see, you think you're hitting the mark and then sometimes you're not. Just going to try and mine down this tree. So farming for items and foraging and stuff, it does take a while to like get the hang of it, but pretty much you'll spawn in and you'll want to go around with your rock. You'll have a rock, not a tool obviously. You'll have a rock, and the best advice I can give you is you go around with the rock and you just constantly, mine down trees, gather rock, gather materials, find food. These berries are great if you can find like these mushrooms in the forest, these red mushrooms. They're fantastic. And then pretty much, yeah, you just want to find food and materials as fast as you can. And that's how you can start crafting. If I can get somewhere safe. The way crafting works is press up on the D-pad. You'll see your inventory and all the items that you've gathered. You'll be able to go over to your crafting menu. And then whatever items you have enough materials for will be in the crafting menu. And they'll appear like this. And you'll be able to craft different ones. And then the map is like this. So the map's pretty decent, to be fair. And you might spawn like on a beach up here somewhere, or something like this. I spawned up here quite a lot. And then eventually I got to spawn down here, and I started coming inland, and that's obviously where all the better gear is. But what's kind of cool, that's like a spot where I died at first. That's one of my death points was at a water treatment plant. But you get like little icons like this, so there's like vending machines around the map that you can trade with. You've got NPC outposts and stuff, which are kind of awesome. You can go and trade for things there and pick up new things from them and things like that. So it's worth having just an explore. Like don't try and get too grounded too quickly. You will die a lot in this game. You will have to do a lot of new character wipes and stuff like that. So don't get too stressed if you keep getting rocked by people. People will charge you. Most people I've found in this so far have been aggressive. There's only been a few people who've actually been kind of cool, and just we've kind of bumped into each other and we've just kind of bounced up and down to each other. You kind of just crouch like that. You just kind of crouch and uncrouch, and then sometimes people are cool, sometimes people are just assholes, and you've just got to ignore them. Yeah, pretty much you just got to keep positive and just keep surviving. Just gather your resources. That's the best thing you can do. Food, like wild grown mushrooms, or you might find like crops or corn or stuff, and then pretty much just gather as much resources. Like people grow their own pumpkins, and like pumpkins will grow naturally in the wild anyway, so just constantly be going around picking up items and just foraging for a while. I got my luck was actually quite random. Like some items are like this, you can press X and just pick them up. It's kind of cool. So you don't have to mine them if they're in a small like amount of space. So like this is like a smaller rock. If we highlight it, you'll be able to pick that up easily. Well, that's kind of cool. What I like about this survival game though is that there is no sort of weight limit to your character. So you have 30 slots default in your items inventory and stuff. And you can carry around 30 items, but even if you're carrying around 5 items or 30, you're not going to go faster or slower. Like, as far as I've experienced, things have been pretty decent for that. You'll find loot like this as well, like scattered around. So I found some water canteens there, and I found some anti-radiation pills, so that's great. So if I've ever come into a radiation zone, I can take them, and I will be saved from the radiation. Radiation is really weird in this game. Sometimes you can like easily get lost and just walk into a radiation zone. Also, if you find barrels out in the world, if you have a pickaxe, you can break the barrels down and pick up things. Scrap is one of the best ways to level up everything. That's like one of the most important items in the game. So if you can just get a pickaxe early on, you can gather scrap quite quickly. And then everything gets stored in here, which is kind of cool. You can find different items, and if you ever need to know what an item's for, you can press left on it, and it'll tell you a little bit about it, which is kind of cool. But yeah, the best advice I can give is just explore. Don't worry about building a house straight away. Don't worry about building a big base and all that stuff. Just explore and learn and just roam around the world for a bit until you get your own grasp. Everyone's got their own play style. Everyone's got their own thing. But the best advice I can give you is if you do find a server and you start playing on that server and you want that to be like your permanent server, then make sure you favorite it. And make sure you favorite it in the menus, because otherwise you will keep joining random servers. And I don't think your progression carries over to different servers. I think you kind of have one server that you have to use as your primary server, and then it'll keep all your base. So like say for example you load into like server 1, and that's where you build your base and you've got your character with all the good gear on them and stuff like that. But then you load into server 2 by accident, or you just click on server 2 instead of your original server. Don't be surprised if you spawn in and all your gear's gone, because I think your character and your base and all your gear gets saved to a unique server. Like the first server you log on to, you need to remember that. You need to favorite it, and there is an option in the menu when you're logging in to favorite it. So just make sure you have a look around the menu and stuff. But I'm really loving it. I've never played Rust. I never had a go of the PC version, obviously, but I've watched some people play the PC version, and the fact that it's on console and it's this smooth already, I'm really happy with it. But then again, this could just be down to my experience. You guys might... Oh god, there's a guy with a gun over there. Shit. I don't know if you guys saw that, but there was a guy over there then. I think there was 2. I always like to keep one slot free. So like, you can see now I've got like the blue thing on my screen in the cross button sort of box area here. I'm just going to crouch. If you crouch, you don't make any noise whilst you move, so if you think someone's in your area, it's like I can hear machine guns. So I think two people are having a bit of a confrontation. You never know with players in games like this, like DayZ. I've played a lot for DayZ on the Xbox, so I'm very prepared when it comes to hearing the sounds. And there's a person there, so that survivor may or may not have just killed somebody. Sometimes it's a little bit confusing to tell whether it's a survivor or an NPC, because sometimes, well, there are NPCs that roam around. This is going to be really noisy. But there's a recycling machine. Oh, there he is in the distance. This recycling machine is amazing at taking old items and recycling them into materials. So like you can see, I put some garbage in there, turn it on, makes a really loud noise. You can kind of see them in the distance over there, but I don't know if it's an NPC or if it's players. But either way, I'm trying to avoid a fight. He says, and then immediately goes towards them. Let's get back to base. I don't want to stick around and find out if they're friendly or not. But yeah, PvP is a big part of Rust. So if you're not a big fighter, if you're not into getting down and dirty and doing some scraps, then you've got to learn how to kind of be a little bit sneaky, a bit stealthy, and just dip in and dip out and stuff like that. Like, I never overstay my welcome in places like monuments. They call them monuments, but they're kind of like POIs, points of interest. They're like big areas on the map that have got names. So like you might have like an oil field or a salt mine, or like this is the airfield. So there's like POIs or points of interest. Are like these huge areas of the map, obviously, where a lot of people are inhabiting them, and a lot of people are kind of chilling out in the same area. And lots of people build their bases around there, so that's why there's loads of bases near me who are all fortified. So like people will build bases in the surrounding areas of those monuments, of those like big sites, and then they'll go to those places for like raids to get materials or stuff for things like that. So I always try and go in there and dip out fast if I can. But yeah, I was really impressed with this game. Obviously, not seeing too much of it helped that, I think, because obviously I was quite new to it. But everything I've seen so far of it whilst been playing has been really positive, and I've really enjoyed it. It gets really intense at times. Like there was a game clip, but my game clip, for some weird reason, for this game and not uploading to my phone like they should be. And it's really annoying, but I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know if it's a thing with the Rust beta being like, there's a whole big confusion about NDAs and signing NDAs, and like the people who played the closed beta aren't allowed to talk about the closed beta and what they saw and how the gameplay was then. But obviously now that this is a pre-order beta, people have obviously paid for this. Now you're allowed to talk about it because now it's in the public domain. So yeah, there's a bit of a confusion with that. So I don't know if that is why my game clips won't upload, and like why I couldn't stream it the other day on Twitch. My Twitch broke, and I don't know. It might be a problem on my end, or it might be a thing with Double 11 and Facepunch. I don't know. But if you follow me on social medias, especially Twitter, I was really giving heat to the companies like Double 11 and Facepunch and people like that, because they were taking console players' money and just giving us the worst of experience. Like, I don't even play PlayStation predominantly, but I saw people who do play PlayStation having a really shit time with the beta on release and stuff. So I just think I think that's not really fair that they've got 13. It came out 2013, so they've had like 8 years to patch this game up, fix it, make it good. Let's turn the brightness up a little bit more. But yeah, they've had time to really improve this game. They've spent ages on the PC version, and they've had, time to bring it over to the console version, and they've just kind of, it feels like they've put less effort into the console version and more effort into the PC version, which to me just doesn't bode very well. It upsets me and winds me up a bit, because it's like, you've got a big audience of new players who are excited to be playing Rust on the console, and you're just going to do them dirty. And it winds me up. But some people are quite bold, and they've built their houses out in open areas. I like to build mine in the woods, like here. But you can find, you'll find yourself, though, when you're playing the game, everyone's got their own sort of style to how they want to play. I found one of these in one of the barrels, which is kind of cool. You might have seen one before. It's like a home defense sort of system. I don't want to put it too close to the ramp, because, funny thing, they do actually hurt the player. One thing I will say, though, is that when this game goes dark, like when it's like now at nighttime, it gets dark. Like, it gets really dark really quickly. So, that's a problem. A little fun tip is with your base. When you're working on your base, you've always got to be able to have every time you build a base, you should always build one of these cupboards. I think they're called, let me find it. They're called a tool cupboard. So the reason you need a tool cupboard is because the tool cupboard will sit in your base. And pretty much the way I describe it to people who are new, pretty much the tool cupboard eats your supplies. So you've got to put depending on what your base is built out of, you've got a requirement. So for me at first it was just stone and wood. So I needed to put 500 stone in it, 50 wood in it for 1 day of upkeep. And now it's got metal as well, because my doors are now metal and I've upgraded them. So pretty much how it works is you've got to keep your tool cupboard constantly updated with supplies, because if I took all these supplies out for some reason, if I say, for example, I took all these out of my tool cupboard, my base would start decaying. So all my walls, they've all got health and stat bars and things like that. And this is things you'll learn over time of just, coming in and playing the game. But as you can see, the more supplies I put in, it says my base has now got protection for 10 days, 9 hours, and that's all real life time. So it's all the same sort of concept of keeping track of your resources and how that works, and you just got to keep on top of them. There's lots of micromanaging in this game, which if you've never micromanaged before, you will find a little bit strenuous to begin with. I could see people complaining about it quite frequently, saying oh, this is going to be a problem and stuff like that. And it is if you've never been around that type of game before. There's lots of micromanagement to be done, but it's well worth it. Like I say, this beta is really, really good when it works, obviously. But so far, I've played it for a good long chunk of time now, and I'm really into it. Really, really proud of, the team. Even though I will slag them off if they do something wrong, because, I'm not going to give them credit for doing something right and then just ignore it when they do something wrong. But when they do things wrong, I will say about it on Twitter and things like that, and to my audience, because I want to give you my honest opinion. But when they do get something right, I do want to applaud them for it. So credit to them. They have definitely, for the Xbox part of things, they've definitely done very, very good. I'm really chuffed with what I've played so far. And if this is anything like what the full game will be like, I'm going to really look forward to it. This is a cool little machine as well. So you need one of these, a workbench. And pretty much you need to have a minimum of 75 scrap in it. And if you have a minimum of that, you can begin experiments. So it'll give me a blueprint. And most of the time it's a blueprint you've not seen before. So now I've learned how to get a reinforced glass window. And I can learn that. Press Y to learn it instantly. And then now when I press up on the D-pad and go to my crafting, when I go towards the house option, there it is down there. If I want to have glass window, bulletproof window glass, if I want that, all I need is 50 scrap, and then I can put that there. But I kind of like my house kind of like a little bug out station in the woods, hidden away. I don't like to draw attention to it. But yeah, pretty much that's it. I don't want to oversaturate this gameplay, but obviously there's nothing been too monumental happening. In this clip, we did some looting. I showed you a bit about the base, showed you a bit about the foraging and stuff, but pretty much I would recommend playing it. I'd recommend definitely, if you've got the spare cash lying around, obviously it's been the pandemic, so money's tight for people. So if you do have the spare cash, get the deluxe edition. It's the cheapest edition that will give you access to the pre-order beta. If you're not that happy about it and you don't have the money to spend, subscribe to the channel for free, ding dong the notification bell. Stick around here, I'll give you some gameplay. I'll show you what you can get up to, and then wait for the game to come out. And in May, I think it comes out in the 21st, 22nd of May. So not too long to wait, but that's your options. If you did like this content, if you did like this, I'm gonna keep uploading different clips as much as I can. Obviously, I'd like to do it in a more professional manner with the stream and game clips, but until that works, I'll be doing it like this. So if this video did help you in any way, if you did enjoy it, if you are a fan of Rust, a lot of new console Rust fans have found my channel, which I've been grateful for. Like I say, I'm in university doing, YouTube on the side, but my goal is to really finish university and do YouTube full time as a job. So you guys have been helping me do that so far. You've been helping me in a massive way. So thank you very much. If you found my channel through Rust, I'm honoured and I'd love to have you around for longer. So yeah, I'm making Rust content as much as I can. And I'll see you in the next Rust video. So like, comment, subscribe, ding dong the notification bell. I've been your boy Tom Origins, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Peace out. Goodbye. Switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia. Darling, I'm just so fed up with what does perfect even mean?